Hi, I'm Therese with Therese Bradley Art. Thank you so much for joining me with this course, Rediscovering Your Inner Wisdom, 30 Days of Expressive Art Journaling. So when I first started, what I later discovered was expressive art. I was making little collages in just a spiral sketchbook. And this, in fact, is the one that I started with. So it was just a simple, one of those drawing paper type sketchbooks. And because I didn't have words, I filled these pages with images cut out of magazines and out of books. And I found words and I rubber stamped words. And by starting with the images, I was then able to find the words to express my thoughts and feelings about the experiences and circumstances I was having. So this time, as I teach you, I am going to be using this super yummy, gorgeous Heart and Soul Keeper journal that was made in the free gift that I offered along with the presentation of this course. So this is what I am going to be filling out. So just a reminder, there's all these pages. This is a sneaky peek. All these pages to fill out. There's 32, if you count this is one page and this is another page, there's 32 all together, plus the inside front cover and the inside back cover if you choose to also do those. So you can do, if you want to use a couple of the pages as a 2-page spread, you'll be able to do that. If you don't, I'm going to show you 30 different expressive art journaling pages, and then you can pick your couple of favorites and pop them in your extra pages. We also have the expressive art collage that we did in the presentation. And this, I will show you how to do what's called a tip in, so that you'll be able to read, if you choose, both sides of your journaling. You could also just glue it flat into your journal so that you just see the front of the collage and it just turns as a whole page. I mean, it's your journal. You get to make it how you want. It needs to represent your heart. So anyway, I've got a bunch of supplies that are possibilities. You certainly do not need all of them. And I just want to show you so that it can kind of get the wheels going and you can think, oh, I have this other thing and I have that thing. And it'll kind of give you an idea of the types of supplies I'm going to be using. You can certainly substitute whatever you have. You don't need to go out and buy anything special. All of the supplies I'm using are pretty basic art supplies. You may have them already in your home. And there are a couple of items that you may or may not have, and you don't have to go purchase something. We can always make do, always. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to flip my camera around so that you're facing down on my desktop. And then I'll talk about the different supplies that I'm going to be using throughout these 30 days. So I'm not going to use all of them on every single day. I'll use some one day, some another day. Some I might use over and over again. But just to give you an idea of the total, I guess, spread of supplies. And if you had like a bin or a shoebox or a large basket, you could just kind of collect everything in that basket so that then when you were ready to work on your journal, you could just pull your basket out of wherever you're storing it, pop it on a table, and you're ready to go. Everything's nice and contained and there for you. So that's just an idea in terms of maybe making it more manageable if you don't have a designated workspace. I made art on my kitchen table for 40 years. Just recently have gotten an art room that's just dedicated to me and all my stuff. So you can make a lot of good art just on your kitchen table. And having your supplies in some kind of central bin or basket really does help. So enough blah, blah, blah. I'm going to stop the film, flip my camera, and we'll start talking about supplies. Okay, so again, you're going to need your heart and soul journal. And this is the leftover from the collage that I put on my front cover. So stick this in a safe place. We can use this on one of our journal pages. And I also have the Milagro heart collage that we made in the presentation, Discovering You Through the Art of Expressive Collage. So this will also, I'll teach you how to put in a tip in, or you can just simply glue it onto one of the pages of your art journal. So that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the Heart and Soul Keeper that we've made previously. However, if you want to just get as inexpensive drawing paper sketchbook, you can certainly use that as well. I just think this is gorgeous, and that's what I'm going to use. This is an old catalog or magazine to use as a glue catcher. This is where we'll be spreading glue so we don't get glue all over our tabletop. And then as we need a clean page, we can just turn the page and voila, there's a nice clean one. You're going to need a glue stick. You're going to need scissors, some kind of magazines that you can cut up, both for images and for words. So when you're choosing your magazines to cut up, pay attention to both. For magazines, you're looking for images that speak to you. You could also be looking for colors. So maybe, for instance, maybe it's a travel magazine and it's just filled with beach scenes and things like that. And that doesn't wow you, but all those colors in the ocean, you like all those blues and greens, and you like the skies, the blues and the whites that are in the skies, then you could just pull out pictures that had the colors that you like. So look for both images and colors and words. We'll be looking for all of them. What I don't have here to show you is an old book that you could cut up for words as well. I really like using self-development books, self-growth, personal growth, whatever the term is called. And I also like using the Chicken Soup for the Soul, those books. I look for books that have various font sizes, large and small, and have italics and have different, they use different fonts. Sometimes you'll be cutting a whole word out, but sometimes you won't be able to find the word you want. So you'll have to cut individual letters out to create the word you want. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you have old books, great, that you're willing to cut up. If not, maybe take a trip to the thrift store and, like find something that's very, pennies, 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, whatever, that you can cut up for your collaging. Okay. We're going to be using, I'm going to be using some watercolor paints. These are two relatively inexpensive watercolor palettes. These are not, this one especially is not a high grade watercolor palette. However, it has yummy, luscious, I mean, the colors are just gorgeous. They are a bit chalky, but for our use, they're going to be just fine. This is my Prang, is my personal favorite. I don't get any money for them. So I'm just telling you because if I was going to go purchase an inexpensive watercolor set, I would get Prang. And the reason is there's a lot of pigment in the individual little watercolor wells. And what I mean by that is the color is very deep and rich. It's not chalky. So they're beautiful, luscious colors. And I think for an inexpensive watercolor set, this is just right on. Now, if you already have watercolors, use what you have. You don't have to go buy these ones. I'm just showing you what I'll be using. So if you don't have watercolors and you want to go get some, and you don't want to get something expensive because you don't need it for this, these are two really good, inexpensive sets. This one, Uli. I'm like trying to find out who made this. Uli. So anyway, just inexpensive. Know that this one is chalkier. This one is rich and luscious and gorgeous. Okay, a variety of paintbrushes. There's nothing magical about the ones I chose. I just said, okay, a flat brush might be good if I wanted to make just wide, flat areas of color. I've got sort of a medium-sized round tip. I've got a little bit smaller round tip. I have an itty-bitty round tip. This one is kind of fun. This is a liner brush, and they're really fun for when you hold your hand way back on the paintbrush like I am, and then you just lightly can make swirls and all kinds of fluid, fun shapes because the bristles are so long and they're so soft. And then this is just, I don't even know, this is like so old, but the bristles are really soft, and so I like using it just because it's soft. Something to hold clean water in. And then I like using an old gift card when I'm putting my collage down to make sure that it really adheres onto the paper. And then I'll also use this to scrape acrylic paint, a really light coat of acrylic paint, onto the pages of my art journal. These are really fun. I don't know if I can, because this is holographic. This is Folk Art Color Shift. And these are really fun because they are kind of a holographic-y sort of, it's not metallic really, but you get a glimmer to it. And they're very sheer when applied with a gift card. They're super sheer on the paper that you're putting them on. And so you can journal on your page first, and then you could go back over with a little bit of this paint, scraping it over what you've already written, and you can see the words through, but then you've got color down on your page as well. So I like these color shifts. I would recommend, if you're going to use acrylic paint, just 2 or 3 of your favorite colors. You don't need a lot. Maybe some washi tape if you have some. Maybe some stickers if you have some. You could, along with the words that you would cut out of a magazine or book, you could also use word stickers if you have those, or if you have a little alphabet rubber stamp set and an ink pad for creating words. A couple of maybe 1 or 2 paper punches if you already have them. Don't go out and buy a paper punch, because you can cut shapes out. But if you have a paper punch of a shape that you like, or if you want to splurge, go for it. I mean, who am I to tell you not to get something if that's what you want to do? I love butterflies and hearts. They show up in my work a lot. So I have hearts and butterflies. So you'll see those. And then you may want some colored pencils to color in some areas, and you may want some felt pens to color in some areas. And again, I'm not using real expensive supplies. They're easy to get. One thing I really love is this Sharpie pen. It's the skinny Sharpie pen. It is a permanent pen. It has a really tiny itty bitty nib, really tiny. The reason I like this, I use this for journaling almost all the time. I like that it's permanent, so if I go over it after I've written with it, like if I put watercolor paint on top of my journaling, or I spread this shimmery paint on top of my journaling, because this is permanent, it won't smear black all over the place. The other thing I like about it is it does not go through the pages that you're writing on. So when you flip your page, you won't see black marks on the back of your page from this pen. So this is my favorite. Again, I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. I'm just showing you what I like, what I use and what I like. So I think that's a good start. Now, you can always use other things you have. If you have paint pens and you want to bring those in, if you have sequins and you want to bring those in, if you have glitter and stickers, bits of ribbon, you get the idea. You get to make this yours. I'm trying to show you what I am likely to use in these next 30 days. Okay, so let's get started.